Hello and welcome to this training. Today I'm going to show you how to set up an Evergreen sales sequence inside of ConvertKit in less than 10 minutes flat using visual automation. I'm really happy that you want to learn about visual automation because it's right now either active in your account or very soon it's going to be. So it's really a good idea to begin getting familiar with visual automation and to learn various ways of using it for your business. And today's training is just one of many different trainings that I'm going to do on visual automation in different scenarios so that you can take it and use it in your own business. So before we dive in, a quick hello. My name is Sophia and I run the ConvertKit focused website over at sophiaoja.com. Last year, I became a ConvertKit certified expert, and I love helping online entrepreneurs learn ConvertKit and use it to the max in their business. All right, so let's jump in. So let's talk about setting up an Evergreen sales sequence in less than 10 minutes. But before we begin, what is visual automation? Visual automation is a new tool inside ConvertKit that you can use to visually build your funnels so you can automate with more ease, simplicity, and speed. In other words, it's a funnel builder inside of ConvertKit that allows you to visually set up the journey of your subscriber from the very moment they subscribe, the first moment that they enter your list. And you can build various paths for them based on what goals you have for this subscriber. This is what it looks like. It is also referred to as a workflow or visual builder, or even funnel builder, but visual automation is the term for it in ConvertKit. It's good to know the right term so that when you're talking with support or you're talking with other ConvertKit users, you're talking about the same thing and you're on the same page. So here you can see I've used the visual automation to deliver a free video to folks joining my list from various forms. They join from the first two forms, they get a tag, and then finally at the very end, they get an email sequence delivering the freebie. So there are multiple points, but just one trajectory. Instead of duplicating the work for each form, I can keep things simple and streamlined. And simplicity really is a big benefit of this visual automation. My business is built around the idea of the Zen of email marketing. And Einstein once said, everything should be made as simple as possible, but not any simpler. And the visual automation achieves that simplicity. So if you're just starting out with ConvertKit, or you've been on ConvertKit but are finding it difficult to navigate in some aspects, then this is great news for you, because it makes new beginners really anchor themselves visually. And if you're an advanced user, it allows you to make more complex funnels quite simple to set up and implement. And email marketing is as much about building trust with your audience as it is about making major parts of your business automated. It really helps you to free your time. So you can automate all your emails around a webinar. If you offer services, you can gently walk a new reader through various useful content and then introduce them to your offers. And if you're wanting to understand the pain points of your audience, then you can just ask them using a survey method. Of course, you can use visual automation to automate a launch and, of course, finally to create an Evergreen sales sequence, which is what I'm going to show you today. So before we begin, let me introduce to you the key building blocks for your visual automation. The more you become familiar with these, the easier it will be for you to create your own setup. These blocks are events, actions, and conditions. So let's talk about events. Now, events are immediate and they pull the subscriber forward. You can initiate a course of action. So when a certain tag is added, or a certain tag is removed, or if a certain date has been reached. That last one with the date is really great for a live launch. So again, events are immediate and they pull the subscriber as soon as they meet the criteria that you have set. Actions. Actions initiate something to happen. You can use it to add a subscriber to a tag, to a sequence, or to cause a delay at this point. So it happens right after the thing above has completed its task. And finally, condition. Conditions run an if-else check and create a yes-no path. So it matches whether the subscriber fits a certain criteria. And in this case, it can either be a tag or a custom field. And based on that, it moves them forward. So for example, if the subscriber has a customer tag, it will move them on a certain path versus if they didn't. I'm going to show you all of this in action in just a minute, so hang tight. Next, let's talk about visual aids. You will see that everything in the visual automation is designed to be helpful to you. So there are a lot of visual cues for you. What do you see here? Here we have a form and a tag. They are both orange and they are both square. And this means that they signify an event. And here you can see that the sequence and the tag, they both are circular and they're both green. These are the symbols for an action. And finally, you see a condition here. It's a purple diamond. This lets you know that the condition block is being used. So either a tag or a custom field is in use. So just to sum up, forms and tags are orange and square, and they signify an event. Tags and sequences are green and circular, and they signify an action. And tags and custom fields can be used as a condition and they will show up as a purple diamond. And if you noticed, you saw that tags can have two colors, orange and green. So the tag can be exactly the same, and in this case, it's a tag for a customer, and it's exactly the same tag, but they have different colors. But you know, because they're color coordinated and have different shapes, the orange square tag is actually an event, while the green circular tag is an action. So you see that the visual automation is filled with visual cues, and the more you get familiar with them, the easier it will be for you to set it up. Alright, so let's see if we can create an evergreen sales sequence in less than 10 minutes. But first, here's a business scenario. What exactly are we going to create that evergreen sales sequence for? Well, I have picked up an example here. We have Mark, who is a hand lettering artist, and he has a course, an online program for hand lettering. It's called Hand Lettering 101. And he has also created a core lead magnet, which is a complete guide to hand lettering. He also has a second lead magnet, which is a handbook of fonts for calligraphy. So he's got the various pieces of the puzzle already in place. Let's go ahead now and build that automation. All right, jumping inside my ConvertKit account. Here we are under automations, and you can see I've played around with a few different ones. Let's start a brand new automation. So we'll begin at the very beginning. We'll start with the two core lead magnets that Mark has created. So we have two forms, and you can always start an automation either with a form or a tag. Okay, so here we'll start with the form, and in this case, he has a complete guide to hand lettering, add event. And also, anyone who joins his other form, his lead magnet delivering the hand lettering fonts workbook. So anybody coming from either of these two forms will move forward in the visual automation. So next thing that happens is I want to give a tag to these subscribers so that I know they have come through these two forms. And if they've come through these two forms, I know that they are interested in hand lettering. So that's the tag they're going to receive. Notice here that the tag is green. That means it's an action that happens at the end of this bit of the visual automation. Moving down now here, I would like to start sending the launch emails, but I want to make sure that none of the current customers get this launch sequence, because a current customer may come back into the funnel because you're creating great content, Mark is creating great content, and they want to receive this lead magnet, the guide and the workbook, so they may end up entering this funnel. But I want to make sure that they don't get this pitch. So, can you guess what we are going to use? Event, action, or condition? I'd say condition. And I'm going to ask whether or not they have the customer tag. I'm going to add that condition. So you see how it branches off here into two trajectories or paths. So if they have the customer tag, then whatever we pile up here is going to happen. And right now, nothing is going to happen. But if they don't have that tag, which means they have not purchased the course, then I'm going to send them to the launch sequence. And the way to do that is using action. So the action is going to enable you to then start the launch. Add action. So the thing to notice here is that this is an email sequence. Now this email sequence can be as long or short as you want it to be. It can include the pre-launch, the launch, and the post-launch emails all in one. And the way you would space it out is by using the delay that's inside the sequence settings. So if you click on it, you see that the visual automation allows you to edit it. I love this part because you can see the automation flow here on the left and work and build your different emails. This makes it really, really convenient. So here is where you can delay. So let's say that the freebies have been delivered and you want to wait maybe a week or 2 weeks, right? You can select that here. You want to give them a space of 2 weeks. You can really choose whatever you want. And you can also send out these emails on specific days. So if you check Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, emails will go out on those days, but not on Wednesday. And these settings can be done individually for each email, which is an awesome thing and a new thing even, because in the beginning you could only do it for the entire sequence, and now you can do it for every single email in the sequence. Okay, so going back into the visual automation, you can just click over here and you're back in focus. So what happens next? So now the folks are going through the launch sequence and hopefully they're purchasing Mark's hand lettering course. And after they have gone through the launch, I want to tag those people who have not purchased. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the condition feature again and find out if they are customers. So basically what we're doing here is asking, do they have the customer tag by now? If yes, that's great, fantastic. But if not, I want to know that they have been pitched this course. So there's another tag called pitched, and this is something I learned from Nathan. It's a very easy way to categorize the journey of your subscriber. Pitched, interested, and customer. Those are the three categories that you can use. All right, so here you are using the action to add that tag. So if they're not a subscriber, not a customer, I'm sorry, then they're going to come down this path and get the tag pitched. This way I know that they have gone through this journey. And finally, I want everybody to get a tag called newsletter so they can start receiving my regular emails. So that is it. That's the end of it. So let's review what we have just created. There are two forms through which a new subscriber or an existing subscriber may come into this funnel. The first thing they get is a tag called interested, and in this case, they're interested in hand lettering. After that, we're introducing them to a launch sequence, but we're making sure that the current customers don't receive these emails. And so we're using the purple diamond or the condition to ask, is this subscriber already a customer of Hand Lettering 101? If yes, nothing happens, they keep moving forward down this trajectory. If they don't have this tag, they get introduced to these emails in the launch sequence. And as you can notice, it's a green circle, and that's an action, delivering an email sequence. So once these emails have all been delivered, they move down to this point. And I want to know who has not become a customer yet. So I'm going to ask the question again. Does the subscriber have the tag customer, Hand Lettering 101? If yes, all is fine. We keep moving forward. If it's no, then we give them a tag called pitched. This way we know that they have been pitched the course, so it is helpful down the road as well. And then they come down here and everybody gets the tag newsletter. Now, this is the entire Evergreen sales sequence. You can notice that we have not used an event. This, of course, starts off the visual automation as an event, but other than that, we have not used an event. We did not need to. In a different scenario, we may need to. For example, when you're doing a survey to find out the pain points of your audience, and that's something I will cover in a different training. So you can see the entire Evergreen sales sequence is set up here. If Mark starts another freebie or a lead magnet, you can just click this plus sign and add a new form here. If he uses link triggers in some of his broadcasts and he can see clearly that people are interested in his hand lettering course, then he can use a tag and start that subscriber into this visual automation journey as well. And there are up to 5 things that you can add over here. So I hope this training has been helpful to you. You now have understood the building blocks of visual automation, and you have seen now how to work with visual automation in action, setting up an Evergreen sales sequence. I do have a couple of requests from you. First, if you already have visual automations in your account, I want you to go ahead and create a small automation. You can even replicate exactly what I showed you today, just so that you can practice and have a feeling with the new feature. Take a screenshot of it and email it to me. I really want to see what you can create. And second, tell me exactly what automation you need in your business. And I may even create something for you and use it as an example in my next training so that you can use it one-to-one in your business. And finally, actually, there's one more request, And that's if you have not started using visual automations, I want to know why that is. What exactly do you need to know before you can begin? I want to help you start using visual automations. So please email this to me. My email is so@sophiaoja.com, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And I also want to invite you to my next live training happening in October. It's an inside look at my email content creation process. I essentially walk you through the exact process I use to plan, create, and set up my emails well in advance of my weekly schedule. Imagine how it would be for you if you had the entire next month's emails all written out and scheduled in advance. Pretty cool, huh? You can register for this and see dates for other live trainings on visual automations at sophiaoja.com/live. So make sure to register for the next live training. I'm really looking forward to getting to know you. I want to see what you're creating in visual automation. And in the meantime, be happy, be peaceful. See you soon. Bye.